Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah and I'm married to Trevor. We've been married just shy of 5 years now. We have two beautiful, perfect children. Firstborn Samuel Boone and secondborn is Hannah Mae. And we also have a dog named Ozzy who is psychotic. He's literally a psycho. I don't even know what to do with him. But I'm here. I don't really even know why I'm doing this 100%. I mean, truthfully, we got some hard news on Tuesday about our daughter, and I've really just been having trouble processing the information, and I feel like maybe vlogging the journey that we're about to embark on will help, hopefully be a nice distraction, maybe even end up connecting with some people who are going through this. I mean, I know I can't be the only person. I mean, of course I have Trevor to support me, but I mean, it's nice to know that you're not alone. And when you get this kind of news, it's kind of crazy how alone you feel, even though you know you're not alone, but you just feel that way. I mean, it's hard. I just don't want to be alone in this, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say. So anyways, what's going on? So not last week, June 28th, we were outside in the backyard playing. My son wanted to go out there because the neighbors were cutting down a tree, so he of course wanted to see what that was all about. And so we were in the backyard playing. I was holding the baby, I was holding Hannah, and my husband threw the frisbee for the dog, and the dog was not watching where he was going and completely just went right through me, took my legs out. Hannah and I both went down. It was literally one of the scariest moments of my life. I was like, oh my god. So, I mean, I tried my best, like, to catch her, but, I mean, we both went down. Like, I was holding her, but she still hit the ground. So, I knew immediately that she was hurt. I mean, you can tell by the cry. You know, your kids have different cries. I could tell that she was hurt. So, we went to emergency room, and we got some x-rays of her leg and her collarbone, because the doctor seemed to think that that's what was bugging her most. And I agreed, because when she touched, it was you could tell it was uncomfortable for her. So they took the x-rays, and I don't know, we waited a while, quite a while. So we just kind of hung out in the room, and Hannah actually took a little nap, which was nice. I never would have thought that would happen, but they dosed her up with Motrin, so I'm sure that helped. So the doctor comes in with the x-ray results, and he says, unfortunately, she did break her femur. So it was a small break. It wasn't, like she cracked it in half or anything, but still, I mean, a break on a little baby. Oh god, I felt horrible. So, and then he goes, so does she or has her pediatrician mentioned anything about hip dysplasia? hip dysplasia. No? Why? And he said on the x-ray, the ortho, when he was looking at her femur, he could actually see her hip in the picture, and I guess he said it looked dysplastic. So, great. At first I thought maybe, oh my god, like maybe it got dislocated from the fall, but they were like, no, that's not what this is. So they got her in a cast, referred us to a hip specialist at Nationwide Children's. Thank God that we have such a great hospital here for kids. I mean, it's one of the best in the country. So that was one of my first thoughts. I was like, you know what? Whatever it is, she's gonna be just fine. So, I mean, I admit I looked up, a little bit of hip dysplasia, but not too much. I read a lot of stuff. It's common. It can be fixed with a brace when they're a baby. And then they're in that for like 3 months, and then they're good to go. So I really, I was still a little worried, but I felt better knowing how common it was. So I was not expecting the news we did end up getting when we went to see the orthopedic surgeon. He's actually a hip specialist, which is also a total bonus. So we go for our appointment. This was Tuesday, and they take new images of her hips. And they also take one of her femur just to make sure everything is healing well. So we wait not that long, honestly, and the doctor comes in, and I immediately notice that he seems pretty serious. So that kind of put me on edge, and my brain started racing. Like, he didn't even mention her femur when he walked in. He started asking questions. Is she firstborn? Was she a breech birth? Do you have family history of hip dysplasia? Which is no. I mean, Trevor and I, since we heard she might have it, asked everyone, and we can't find anybody in our family that has had it. So it's a mystery. I don't know. But he tells me, so she does have hip dysplasia, and he goes, her right hip is at a complete dislocation. So, like, it's not even near the socket, not even near it. And her left one is close to being away from the socket. Like, it could still go in, probably with some force, but it's bad too. I mean, it's bad. And I asked him, I was like, is it bad? And he was like, yeah, it's bad. So he went on to tell me, he's like, typically we would put the baby in a cat or in a harness, and they would be in that for a few months or however long, but unfortunately she's too old for that now, and it's too severe, and this will require an operation. I immediately started crying. I felt so bad for him because, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. So he said, okay, first of all, I mean, I'll put the picture up, but if you can see here, so these are Hannah's hips, okay? So this, wait, let me look. Yeah, this is her right hip. And if you can see, y'all, I'm not a doctor, okay? He had to draw on this for me because I had no idea what I was looking at. I'm a suburban housewife from Columbus, Ohio. I know nothing. Don't take medical advice from me. I'm just explaining to you what he told me. So this is her right hip, and this is her, like, ball of her hip that's supposed to go into the socket, which is there. And it's up over here. That's not good. And then this one, see how it's lower? So he thinks he might, you know, be able to get that one back in manually with some force, but again, he really isn't gonna know until he gets in there. So he told me they're gonna try to do it manually and just push them back in, get them in a good position, and then they put her in a spica cast, which is wild. If you've ever seen a spica cast, it scared me when I first saw it. So that would be a closed reduction, and that is what I am praying to God happens. Because if he can't get them in manually, I mean, tendons and stuff could be in the way of the socket, so there's a chance he might not be able to get them in. So in that case, he'd have to cut her open. He'd have to cut her open and, you know, move whatever he has to out of the way. Get it in there, get it in the socket, you know, reinforce it with something. I don't even know. At this point, I was trying, I remember I was trying so hard to listen to him, but all I kept thinking was surgery, surgery, surgery for this little tiny 9-month-old baby. I was thinking, you know, not good things. So she'll get her cast off. He will re-examine her, probably take more images. I don't know what's gonna happen. But he definitely made it apparent that we need to do this sooner than later. So this girl, she's gonna go from one cast to another cast, and then, I mean, I'm pretty sure that halfway through or something, they change out the spica cast. Spica, am I saying it right? I don't know, you guys. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a housewife. So she's gonna be in a cast for a long time, like months. She is gonna, you know what? She's so young though. I think she'll adapt well. I hope she will adapt well. Either way, nobody wants their child to go through something like this. It breaks my heart because like when you see her, like you would never know. mean, she's always happy. She's always playing. She is just so sweet. She is the sweetest little girl. The first few days, I cried all day. Like, I would look at her and I would sob. Just because, like, I just couldn't even control my emotions. I was a mess. Luckily, I've had a few days to cry it out. I mean, obviously, as you can tell, it's still very emotional for me. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone's kid to go through this, but I know that kids have gone through this, and I mean, if somebody else is going through this right now, which, I mean, there's gotta be, right? You're not alone. Honestly, I think it's a blessing that she broke her leg. I think God intervened, or the universe intervened, whatever you believe. God came in and he was like, okay, well, her pediatrician ain't gonna find it, so I'm gonna have to break this baby's leg. So he had her leg broke so that that doctor could see that she's got the dysplasia. I mean, it's crazy. God works in mysterious ways. I mean, mysterious, break your baby's leg ways. It's crazy. I mean, had that not happened, who knows when we would have found it. I mean, who knows? You know, it's one of those things. So, you know, I'm hoping this will be good for me. I'm gonna document our entire journey through all of this. It's gonna be a marathon for sure. I mean, this is not like something that is gonna be overnight. She's gonna be perfect. I mean, well, she's perfect, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna document as much as I can, and also in an attempt to distract myself from what my baby is going through. I have to do this, and I'm hoping maybe I can find some sort of community, some kind of support. I don't know what it is. You just feel so alone, and I don't know anybody who has had a child that has had this. I really don't. So, I mean, it's scary. It's so scary. So if you want to join us, that would be wonderful. We would love to have you. And if you know of maybe somebody who is also has a child that's going through this, you know, I would love to connect with some people that are going through the exact same thing, or that have any tips, or can kind of give us an idea of, you know, what we might be in for the next, I don't know, maybe 6 months, a year. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know that much yet, because we still have to get her operation scheduled and everything. I mean, she's still in a cast with her femur broke, so, but there will be updates, and, you know, just so much love to everybody, and I hope you can send the love back and pray for us, and we will get through it. We're at the very beginning. We're at the very beginning of this marathon. So, I mean, it's gonna take a lot of heart, a lot of strength, a lot of courage. We are gonna make sure that she comes through this okay. So, thank you for watching. I will try my best to update when I can. I mean, she's getting her cast off in a few weeks, so there might not be an update for a while. We'll see. I really appreciate you just listening. It feels so good just to talk about it and get it off my chest. So, all right. Well, we will see you again soon. And thank you for watching. So, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.